Welcome to the Frenchville Historical Society Museum in Frenchville, Maine. The town was incorporated in 1869 after the early French settlers from the St. Lawrence River Valley and some Acadians from Madawaska reached the area. The rich, fertile soil along the St. John River provided a foundation to the agricultural base of the community. The French and Acadians also brought with them a deep faith in the Catholic Church. With the leadership of Father Henri Zion and Father Charles Swaron, a church was built in Frenchville. This would become a base from which most of the other parishes in the St. John Valley would be established. Father Swaron would also recruit a number of teaching nuns of the Holy Rosary Order to a convent in Frenchville to provide for the educational needs of Frenchville. However, the town's greatest economic impact would be felt in 1910, when the railroad arrived in Frenchville. It was now possible for the farmers to sell their agricultural products to the larger outside markets. The town soon became a center of commerce and education. In 1985, a group of Frenchville residents interested in preserving the history of the town formed the Frenchville Historical Society. Their first project was doing restoration work on the Green Water Tower, which had been built in 1910 by the Bangor Aroostook Railroad as a water reservoir for their steam locomotives. When the diesel engines replaced the steam locomotives in 1953, the town purchased the water tower from the Bangor Aroostook Railroad and used it as a water reservoir for their own fire department. The Green Water Tower would become a central historical artifact for the town and the Historical Society. With many artifacts about the town, its people, and the Bangor Aroostook Railroad being collected by the Historical Society, there was a need for a public display area. In 1995, the Society acquired an original railroad caboose and situated it next to the Green Water Tower. This would become the display center for these artifacts. Across the road from the water tower was a home which had been built in 1920 for a newlywed couple. He worked as the caretaker of the water tower as well as on the maintenance of the railroad line. However, this was also the time of Prohibition. One of the smuggling routes of hand-brand liquor from Canada to the United States was through the town of Frenchville. The home, which had an open view to Canada, became an all-clear-to-cross signaling location for local smugglers. In 2004, the home, with its rich heritage of railroad and smuggling, was acquired by the Historical Society. This would become an additional display area for their artifacts. In 2014, a storage shed was built, which would become the last building in the museum complex. Even with this rich history of railroad and smuggling, the main theme of the museum is the history of the people of the town. This is reflected in the displays throughout the museum. From the hat collection from Mrs. Parody, embroideries and baby clothing from Mrs. Willette, farm implements from the Burgoynes, family photo collections from the Sears, extensive mortuary card collections from the Michauds, fireman suits from the Corvos, women's clothing from the Levacs, to the milk delivery run collection from the Sirwes and the Lavwes. The museum is about people. If you are interested in family histories, the Frenchville Historical Society Museum is a must-see. You are all invited to come and visit the Frenchville Historical Society Museum.